Welcome to historic Carmichael Arena, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, as we bring you ACC women's basketball on ACC Network Extra. It's the red-hot UNC Tar Heels against their rivals from Durham, the Duke Blue Devils. Alongside Chris Hooks, I'm Dean Linke, and North Carolina women's basketball is indeed back. They've won 4 in a row, knocking off Virginia Tech, beating the #1 team in the country right here at Carmichael, knocking off Georgia Tech in a thriller, and then going to Raleigh and beating an undefeated NC State team for 4 in a row. They try to make it 5, led by their big 3, but Paris Key not available tonight.
Yeah, she's not even in the arena. She's out with a sickness, so it's going to be Stephanie Watts and Janelle Bailey. They're going to have to really step it up. Watts has shown she's got the ability to light it up from the outside. She's going to need it tonight.
Meanwhile, for Duke, Haley Gorecki is a triple-double machine.
Yeah, Haley, again, only player in Power 5 averaging 17 points a game, 6.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 3 steals. She can do it all. Coach McCauley absolutely loves her, thinks she's just a tough workhorse. They're going to need her tonight as well.
She had a big game against North Carolina the last time she played. So did Paris Key. Duke has won 8 of the last 9 meetings. However, the Tar Heels snapping that 7-game losing streak against Duke last season as Key went off for 36 points. And Chris Hooks, make no mistake as we look at Sylvia Hatchell, we just found out 10 minutes ago there's no Paris Key, and that is a big, big loss.
It is a big loss. Again, Paris is a young lady that kind of controls the tempo for this team. She runs the point now. She took, her and Shayla Bennett pretty much switched positions, and I tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see the adjustments they have to make. Bennett's going to have to step it up in her role. Jocelyn Jones getting the start for Hatchell's squad as Gorecki, also for Duke, having to do without a point guard as well.
Right off the tip, Gorecki going down, taking the first shot. Here is Watts. Watts, in my opinion, the best player on the court against North Carolina State both ways. She was outstanding. Taylor Coonan back over to Jones, who gets the start, as Chris Hooks just told you, in replace of the injured, or the sick Key rather, and the shot there from Bailey also short.
There's Gorecki coming down the floor again. Gorecki had 29 last time these two teams met in this arena.
Great bounce pass from Gorecki, but not able to make the shot there was Akinbadi James. First points on the board though for Duke. So Bennett, who started the season at point guard, part of this run as Watts takes a 3 and in and out, has been putting Paris Key at the point guard spot. So Bennett will go back to point guard and Jones will come in. Jones, a versatile player, not very big, but plays like Charles Barkley. And Gorecki shoots a 3. She'll roll it in. It's a 5-0 start here for Duke with the missing Paris Key and the Tar Heels.
Yeah, and we talked to Coach McCauley before the game, and she was fired up, and she talked about, again, don't worry about the record. They're going to fight, and they've been in pretty much all of their games this year.
Good little runner from Bennett.
And you talk about, players like Odom who got the first bucket. She's having to play a little bit more than she was expecting to, with 3 guards for Duke having to 2 of them injured their knee and another one no longer with the team. And again, they've come out strong in this one, Dean.
Goodchild with a 3, the second 3 for Duke, and it's 8-2. Duke on top. Watts is fouled. And you talked about Duke's coach, McCauley. We spent some time with her before the game. She's fired up, said she's been through tough times before. They're ready to handle it. Got a great recruiting class coming in. They're going to weather this storm, and she said there's some big wins left in this team.
Oh, yeah, and she talked about that they felt like they're dangerous here coming down the stretch. Again, she had me fired up to put on a uniform and get out there and play.
Bennett's 3 off the back iron. Coonan's second effort will lead it to out of bounds off of Duke and back to North Carolina. And Chris Hooks, you cannot say enough good things about Taylor Coonan. Sylvia Hatchell also the same way.
Oh, yeah. Coach Hatchell calls her little Larry Bird. Again, she calls her LB because of how she does the down and dirty work. She guards their best player on the offensive side, and I know Carolina fans were excited to see what she was able to do against Brianna Turner, limiting her to 19 points.
Sylvia will take that bucket from Jones, getting the start. Again, if you're just joining us, Paris Key, who has been red hot out with an illness, not even in the building, to take on North Carolina's arch rival Duke. It's 8-4 Duke Blue Devils. Good child, good little spin up and in.
Yeah, you talked about Jocelyn Jones. She's started 5 times already this year. She's averaging about 12 minutes a game, so she's going to see that go up exponentially here tonight and see how she handles it.
Watts. Some heavy lifting expected from Watts in this game. Her shot not there. She's 0 for 2. Duke with Gorecki, Goodchild, Odom, Akinbody, James, and Williams. North Carolina, Bennett, Coonan, Jones, Watts, and Bailey. It'll be Tar Heels basketball. They trail by 6.
Yeah, I've been really impressed here with Duke early on. Leona Odom, again, shooting around 53% from the field, has come out, got a bucket or 2. You got Goodchild that's hit it up for 5 points here early. So, again, you got to like the way the Blue Devils have come out in this one.
Down to Bailey. Great move by Bailey, up and in, and it's 10-6. It's interesting when you talk to Coach McCauley, she talked about how North Carolina used to be a turnover machine. Now, though, turnovers have been a problem that has been plaguing the Duke Blue Devils. There's another one.
Yeah, and again, and that was something that Paris Key was given credit to by that coaching staff. And again, this play right here, Bailey is just an immovable object, and anytime she gets momentum towards the basket, I can tell you, nobody in the league that's going to stop her.
Averaging 16.6 and 9 rebounds a game is Bailey. Watts behind the arc, in and out. There's Bailey with the rebound. Has it taken away. Coonan will pick it back up. Jones made it from one side. Misses this time. Bailey another rebound. Bailey looking at 3 white jerseys, throws it up. Jones hustles for it. It'll go out of bounds. Bailey looking for a foul and didn't get it.
Yeah, she forced that one up there. I felt like she could have probably reset it, got it back out, or even taken it a little stronger. One thing that last possession, Dean, Coach McCauley talked about, they need to do a better job of closing out on shooters, and Watts was left wide open and nobody closed out on her.
The Tar Heels named the Team of the Week after that thrilling win over Georgia Tech, and then handing the Wolfpack their first loss of the season, as that one goes out of bounds. And make no mistake, Chris Hooks, you were here for the call against Notre Dame. Nobody was too surprised that North Carolina beat NC State.
No, and they weren't. And I think NC State was kind of thrown back a little bit with how well Carolina was playing in the post. And, you know, they're depleted with their injuries. And, you know, they depended so much on their guards to get stuff done. You know, they weren't able to get it done. Carolina did a great job defensively. Taylor Kuhn had a great game on that side of the floor, and that's why they're rolling right now.
In and out for Goodchild. And North Carolina can cut the lead to 2. Watts, such a great handle. She'll miss it. Talked to Watts earlier today, and she said when she was out a year and a half, anytime she had a basketball or could be with the basketball, even sitting down with her legs up, she was dribbling with 1 and 2 basketballs, and you can tell her handle is fantastic. Kept alive there by Duke, up and in from Odom.
I'm impressed with Odom here early. She's very streaky. And Coach talked about she's someone that could take over a game if they needed her to. Obviously, Gorecki's the one who's been doing the lion's share of the work. That's an unforced turnover there by Carolina.
Coonan with the travel. It's a blackout here in Carmichael, including Paris Key. She's not here. Can North Carolina recover? They're down 6 against Duke. Welcome back inside Carmichael Arena. Duke with a 12-6 lead over North Carolina. And when you start to break down Coach McCauley's Duke Blue Devils, particularly what they've done on the road, that's part of the reason they sit right now at 10-11, 2-7 in conference play.
Yeah, again, they've had a little bit of the turnover bug this year. You look in conference play overall, again, they're second most in the ACC as far as that goes, 19.2 turnovers a game. Overall in the ACC, 172 total turnovers, and that's something she said they've got to take care of the ball against a team like a Carolina and moving forward.
Yeah, that turnover number that you just mentioned, second most in the ACC. And, well, you think about North Carolina having to make the adjustment on the fly, no Paris Key. Duke also will have to make an adjustment. Now, one that they probably accept gladly, but still they'll have to adjust because their whole game plan was pretty much taking care of Key, right?
That's exactly what Coach McCauley said. She goes, we're going to basically put it all on Key.
Great steal there by Bennett, and we just highlighted the turnovers, and Duke turns it over. Watts, little pump fake, back to Coonan, one extra pass. Church can shoot it, and a three from Church.
And that's Coach Hatchell's, one of her favorite players. Again, all of her players are favorite, but she talked about Leah Church being her little spark plug off the bench. She had the big shot against Notre Dame as she flails on the floor, but again, she made a big shot right there to get this offense going.
You see the ball movement, the extra pass. One more, and here it comes.
Yeah, again, she talked about how she was instrumental in that comeback last year because Duke was playing a matchup zone. She was able to just sit outside and just drill the three, and that's another situation we talked about with Coach McCauley and her squad, not closing out, not contesting shots very well.
Gorecki cannot complete the and one, but Duke with a 5-point lead. Under 4 minutes remaining here in the first. Coonan down to Bailey, getting position. Blocked from behind, though, by Gorecki. And Gorecki will lead the charge. The transition, fast break. Gorecki staying with it. And in and out, rebound by Coonan.
Tough break for her. That was a tremendous play, both sides.
Watts the other way. She can finish with her left and does. Wow.
The pace of this game is certainly in Carolina's favor.
14-11. The Tar Heels, winners of 4 in a row, but we're going to repeat it a few times. No Paris Key, home sick, a late scratch. Here's Bennett, another turnover for the Duke Blue Devils. Watts sets up behind a three. So does Bailey. Bailey, as Coach McCauley saying they'll probably let Bailey continue to shoot him. She was worried that this would be the game where Bailey would start hitting her threes, but missed that first one.
Yeah, she used some other words to describe that.
Gorecki, too strong. Rebound, Church. What I love about Sylvia Hatchell's comment on Church is she said, yeah, she can shoot threes all day, but she took a couple charges against NC State, and she liked that as Bailey misses it.
Yeah, those were, and you were there as well, those were big charges because State was starting to make a little run, and then she did a nice job taking those charges and just took all the momentum away from NC State.
Both teams' code as Odom misses. Watts from way downtown. And she hits a three. Stephanie Watts has tied it.
She's got such a beautiful shot.
(14-14). That was an NBA three, Chris Hooks, right there from Stephanie Watts.
That was Steph Curry range.
Odom driving in. Wonderful drive, but in and out. The rim not friendly for the Duke Blue Devils here in the last couple minutes.
That's twice. Odom had it, and Gorecki had it as well.
Coonan trying to get big, but even bigger was Williams with her first bucket.
Yeah, and that's Coonan's tough down low, but a lot of times if you're just outside, there's nothing you can do about it. You just tip your cap and go on the other way.
Bailey is fouled, and she'll go to the line. She'll need to give Stephanie Watts all the credit there.
And you look at Watts, just absolutely, you can tell she knows this is her game to step it up with Paris Key missing. She didn't even break a sweat there.
And Chris Hooks, without question, part of the reason where she's still able to get uncontested threes is what I talked about earlier. Her handle right now, she has shown the ability to get to the left side, the right side, she was slicing and dicing the Wolfpack.
Yeah, she really was, and she did a nice job in that ball game. And I think she may not be as good a ball handler or a controller of the basketball as Paris Key, but again, she can do just as well, and she's been able to do that here early.
We're tied at 16. Minute 30 remaining here in the first. Duke, North Carolina. You know the old cliche, throw out the records, it doesn't matter. That's worth saying because it probably doesn't matter, essentially, that Paris Key isn't here. Both teams are going to bring all kinds of heart for sure. Bennett, little casual there. It'll go out of bounds and stay with North Carolina.
And one thing I've been impressed with Carolina here early on, Dean, is, again, everybody that's played for Carolina at this point has scored. So it's not necessarily having to depend on Paris Key, who has scored 20 and 30 here and there.
Stephanie Watts with another three. She leads all players with 8, and she gives North Carolina a 3-point lead, their first lead of the game. Bailey whistled for the foul on a hand check, and Stephanie Watts another 3, Chris.
Yeah, I love watching her shoot because she just has a beautiful looking shot, great rotation. And I tell you what, of her and Key the last few weeks, it's just that goal, that rim might as well be 10 feet wide.
Goodchild. Good shot by her is Mila Goodchild. She scored a 3 early, moving her into a tie for second on Duke freshman's all-time threes made list, with Abby Wayner now with 50 threes made as a freshman for Goodchild.
Yeah, Coach McCauley spoke highly about her. And again, that was a big bucket for Duke, as Carolina's been on a little run.
Better closeout that time, but Watts with the closeout gets it into Bailey. The assist, the bucket to Bailey. Shot clock is off. Duke's going to, looks like they were going for a point anyway. Not going to settle for the last shot. They had an easy one, but it was knocked out of bounds.
This is some creative substitutions here by Coach Hatchell. Get Bailey out for 17 seconds, but she'll get, about a minute and a half more of time to rest here.
Jalen Murray will come in. Murray has been a valuable sub. Not a ton of minutes, but important ones. And there's Murray with the rebound. Final 6 seconds here in the first quarter. Carolina up by 3. Church with the 3, 24-18. And what a finish for North Carolina.
Wow. You want to talk about a team that's starting to pick things up and kind of carry the load without Paris Key. Give them credit. They've really fought back here after Duke kind of swung first.
Stephanie Watts has been outstanding. Leah Church has been outstanding. Watts was long distance. Watts in the final second with a big 3. 8 seconds left in the first quarter. Chris Hooks, you got to find the shooters if you're Duke, right?
Yeah, she just kind of drifted her way towards the middle. No one really paying attention. I think they were just kind of settling in, thinking that they would try something as far as getting it in. But, I mean, again, on that marker board in the locker room, it said, watch out for their shooters in transition and contest the three-pointers, and they certainly did not live up to that there. I can guarantee you she's certainly preaching that on the other side of the floor.
Yeah, Leah Church is a sharp shooter, and as you said, Coach McCauley said get out and contest. She was left wide open, and you talk about the impact she's made during this 4-game run for North Carolina.
Well, she's shooting the ball spectacularly, but again, it's the little things, the intangibles that you don't necessarily see. You don't see stats on how many charges someone taking or someone, again, playing solid defense, and she comes in. And Coach, again, as I said earlier, Hatchell talked about her being so tough, and that's one of her favorite things to see is someone coming off the bench and just doing their job, and that's it.
Duke allowing 24 points, the most points they've allowed in the first quarter all season. And again, that's against a North Carolina team without their leading scorer and perhaps one of the best players in the ACC in Paris Key as Coonan tries to get it down to Bailey.
And Duke has switched up to a little bit of a zone, maybe even a matchup zone. And you can see Coach Hatchell's probably going to find Leah Church.
Bailey, quick pass. That's Watts to Bailey. What a pass from Watts, as Watts has a couple assists now. Bailey has 8 points along with Watts' 8 points, and the lead is 8.
Now, I didn't say it was going to be on that possession. I don't want to at least get taken to the task on that. I guess when you have 6'4" Bailey standing in front of you on an inbounds play, that's probably where you need to go.
Gorecki, Goodchild, Odom, Suggs, and Williams out for Duke. Bennett, Coonan, Watts, Church, and Bailey for the Tar Heels. Gorecki, solid left hand up and in, and Gorecki's got 7.
And that's another, that play right there just shows you she sometimes just has to do it on her own with Duke having trouble scoring sometimes. And Coach McCauley talked about her being a pro player.
Church, Watts fading away, this time short. Watts has shown the ability to make that step back 3, but perhaps stepped into a different stratosphere that time. Odom down low. Watts comes over. No whistle, and a nice turn and clean shot there from Williams.
I think that was a good play-on situation. Kind of let it go. Either way. But again, that's what Carolina did so well against NC State. The help defense was just killer in the post.
Bennett running the show. Down to Coonan. Bailey was open for a second. Church, pump fake, step back. Church off the rim. And rebound Duke.
Tried that step back like James Harden. I think that went off of Gorecki. Maybe not. Looked for a second like it went off Gorecki, but here's the play last time in the post. Again, nice feed down low, way to keep her balance. And Watts did a nice job getting there, but just couldn't make the play. If you're Duke right now, you've kind of taken a haymaker from Carolina here in that first quarter, and you're only down 4.
That's a great point. Turnovers, though, have been a factor. They've got 5 turnovers, just 1 for North Carolina. Odom. Goodchild. Back over to Suggs. Gorecki will give it back to Suggs. Cutting across is Roma. Roma, loose ball, try to pick it up. And a shot clock violation, solid D from the Tar Heels.
You know Coach Hatchell is in love with that. Most basketball coaches love to see the defense play to the point where, again, I think that was kind of a forced pass. Nice defense there by Leah Church. And another situation where the spark plug comes in, makes a good defensive play, but it won't show up in the stats.
Duke trying to pick up North Carolina half court. Coonan, pump fake to the basket, up and in. A block, and she'll go to the line for 1.
Well, and again, that was an obvious one. She was in the cylinder, but again, Coonan is so tough. She's going to have a tremendous career here at Carolina, and she's, one of the unheralded ones out of that starting lineup. But I just think she's just so tough and does it with a smile on her face.
Oh, her numbers are solid. Just under 10 points a game, under 7 rebounds a game, and just under 3 assists a game. And obviously we giggled a little bit when Sylvia Hatchell called her LB, because if she could shoot like LB, it'd be lights out here. North Carolina would be taking home a national championship. Coonan gets a break, though, a violation on the free throw on Duke. She'll get another chance to complete the N1, and she'll do it. 29-22, North Carolina by 7. Tar Heels, as Sylvia Hatchell said, known as a man-to-man coach. She's mixed it up quite a bit, and part of the reason they only go about 6 or 7 deep. Outside the line, a 3 there for Suggs.
That was just Suggs' 7th three-pointer attempted in conference play.
As much as we talked about Coonan, Bennett has really relaxed. There's Coonan. That's going to go off the front of the rim. Rebound Duke. Gorecki drops it over to Goodchild. Goodchild not afraid to stop and pop. Extra pass to Gorecki. Good little fake, and she'll go to the line. That body fake with the ball in motion, tough to defend.
Yeah, Watts did her best to stay up with her, but again, nice job by Gorecki. Again, watch this here. You can see she just does a little whoop, hesitation, gives her enough of a space to get out in front of Watts, and Watts just simply had to kind of bail her out there. So again, that's the second one on Watts, so we'll probably see her sit down in just a minute.
Stephanie Watts had 4 fouls against NC State and sat out some key minutes late, but the North Carolina reserves, including Church, came on strong as North Carolina really never looked back in that fourth quarter against the Wolfpack.
Yeah, State made a run, but Carolina just hit big shot after big shot, and that was Paris Key led. Watts also had something to say about it.
Church sets her feet with that extra pass from Coonan. Ripped away by Watts, and it rolls out.
That's a tough break for Carolina there. Again, they did all the work to make that play down low, just couldn't simply get it to fall in. Again, good job by Watts. Just simply couldn't get it to fall in. Worked so hard down there, and just tough break for Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey's got 2. Watts has 2. 2 of the big 3. The other one home sick, Paris Key. Another turnover for Duke. That's 7 turnovers. Coonan. Bounce pass was the pass to make.
Yeah, or just take it. There was no angle there. Hey, live and learn. She was being unselfish right there. Larry Bird would have taken it up and probably thrown it down.
Larry Bird would have bounced pass. 29-26. Gorecki, Goodchild, Oldham, Suggs, and Williams for Duke. Gorecki, there's Church. Bounces off the pick. Gorecki. Suggs is open. Made her last one, misses this one. Rebound, Gorecki. Looked like she was fouled again. This time, I think it'll be on Bennett.
No, it's a charge.
Okay.
Bennett did a nice job there. Bennett paid for it, though, because she's coming up a little slow. And she just barely got outside the half circle. And you don't have to be set anymore. You just have to be in position.
Good call, Hooksy, on that charge right there. 29-26. It'll come back to North Carolina. 5:35 remaining here in the second. Church down to Coonan. Coonan turns. She's open.
Hey, that's going to be there. If you're going to beat that zone, you've got to find that free throw extended jumper. Good ball movement there. Just tough break for Carolina not to get the shot to fall. Nice defense there as well.
Murray, phenomenal. That's 9 turnovers already for Duke.
And
Church, extra pass. Coonan.
And you know, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Dean. I'll finish it. I was about to finish that. Anyway, what I was going to say is that's the kind of turnover where you can avoid that one. That lob pass, a little bit more oomph on it. That pass right there across the court, that's not a safe pass. Settle it down and take better care of it, and you got to put yourself in better situations. 10
seconds left on the shot clock. Getting position is Williams, and Williams scores.
That last possession, prime example. You take care of the basketball, you get your players, your chess pieces in the right place, there's nothing Carolina can do.
Watts pump fake straight to the hoop. Can't hit the floater as Watts 3 from 9 from the floor.
Carolina shooting percentage now down to 39%. They were up in the mid-40s, close to 50%. But again, Duke's been very efficient despite the turnovers.
And Duke with the lead again. They had the lead early. North Carolina, a tremendous run, but Duke survived that haymaker that Chris Hooks told you about. Now they're up 1 here. Under 4 minutes left in the second.
Now it's Carolina's turn. What are they going to do? They've been having a little trouble against this zone.
Tar Heels have gone almost 4 minutes without a bucket. And a turnover there. Duke going the other way. Gurecki. Bounce pass. Goodchild will hit it. What a pass. And a timeout, North Carolina.
Coach Hatchell is not happy. Not happy at all, and for good reason.
Coach Hatchell up off the bench. Duke making a tremendous run. North Carolina's not scored in the last 4 minutes, and they trail by 3. ESPN and the ACC bring you ACC Network coming August 2019. 15 universities all on one network. Visit getaccn.com to learn more. Chris Hooks, we talked a lot about Haley Gurecki, but Mila Goodchild, she's had back-to-back 20-plus point games, and the freshman sitting on 9 already.
Yeah, she was one that Coach McCauley talked about that could certainly have a breakout game against a team like a Carolina. And she's one of those players, too, that probably wasn't going to be playing as much, but due to the injuries and the losses they've had this year, she's really gotten, a trial by fire, as you would like to say. She's responded pretty well. If you're a Duke fan, you got to be excited about the future.
A whistle and a foul, believe, called against Odom.
I mean, she's down. That could have been helmet-to-helmet contact.
Yeah, hand across the face as Church goes down. Church back out there.
I think some of the Duke players thought she dramatized that a little bit. Good thing she is okay.
North Carolina shooting 37%. Duke now shooting 58%. Carolina has not scored in almost 4.5 minutes. Down to Bailey with the 2 fouls, up and under. She can make that shot. This one will not be there. Bailey's 3 for 9.
Yeah, Duke outscoring Carolina at this point, 14-5 here in this quarter.
Goodchild. Body James is in there. Williams has been effective on the block, both sides, and she's got 8.
Duke is just starting to have their way here. Something they weren't really able to do early in the ball game. They've just been able to knife through the Carolina defense here the last few possessions. Carolina's got to figure it out.
It's a 12-0 run for Duke. Finally stopped there by Bailey, who is the first player in double digits in the game. She's got 10.
Yeah, you look at Bailey and Watts already being 19, now 20 shots apiece, or combined.
Back and body James gives it up to Adams.
Problem with that, though, they're combined 7 of 20.
Williams, good little fake, showed her work on the block, an air ball there from Williams. Rebound Duke, though, shot clock down to 3. And Coonan going to get called for the foul. That's unfortunate. With 2 seconds remaining, Odom will draw the foul.
Yeah, they certainly bailed her out there. But Odom, good job. As you see on the second look, and Odom just got a step on her. And Coonan just kind of gave up in that situation.
Haley Gorecki getting the rest from Coach McCauley. She's back in there. So a 14-2 run in the last 5.5 minutes. Watts blocked, closing the door there. Akinbody James doing exactly what Coach McCauley had front and center on the board in the locker room. Closing out.
That's exactly what she wanted. You don't have to block every shot, though.
Church with the foul on Gorecki, and she'll go to the line.
Gorecki's so nimble, so quick, and she's very smart with her movement, and that's why she was able to take Church there. Again, watch, she hesitated one way, went back to the other in the old Kevin McHale up and under move.
Speaking of Larry Bird, a little Kevin McHale reference. 37-31. Worth mentioning, if you're just joining us here for this Duke-North Carolina matchup, Paris Key, who has been arguably the hottest player in the country, homesick, not in the building for the Tar Heels, who are looking for their 5th straight victory.
Yeah, Church or somebody's going to have to hit some threes, but they're doing a good job of running her off the line here.
Church was open off that pass. Watts, one more pass to Bennett. Good closeout from Duke. This zone defense for the Duke Blue Devils. They'll call a travel on Bennett. She thought she did a crow hop, but a travel called.
Yeah, I think she took an extra step after that crow hop is what they were making the call on. But that zone defense is really causing some problems for Carolina here. And they've got to figure it out. They've got to look at the X's and O's as they get ready to go in the locker room. Duke is really taking hold of this game.
Yeah, 16-2. They have outscored North Carolina in the last 6.5 minutes. 16-2. Only a bucket from Bailey. The rest all going to the Blue Devils. Gorecki will give it back here to Odom. Odom, what a shot for Odom.
Smooth as silk. That's an all-ACC player building right there.
The lead is 9. The shot clock is off. Bennett. Adams giving some pressure. 20 seconds. 5 turnovers for North Carolina to 9 for Duke.
And this is a situation where Paris Key could take over, but she's not here, so who's going to do it for Carolina?
They start at 7 seconds. Give it to Watts. Watts step back. Watts needs it. Off the back of the rim. Rebound Duke. And Duke, a 6-0 run in the last minute and a half. An amazing 16-2 run, and they lead it by 9.
Yeah, Duke taking charge in the second quarter here. If they take it to the half, Odom and company getting it done for the Blue Devils.
Welcome back to Carmichael Arena, Chapel Hill, home to the UNC women's basketball team. Without Paris Key, saw Duke make an 18-2 run. They got a 9-point lead. It's a blackout night. It's also Sylvia Hatchell bobblehead night. Got to get one of those. And Sylvia Hatchell's head starting to get big, understandably. Wins over Notre Dame and NC State. Their strength of schedule. Everybody talking about North Carolina women's basketball being back.
Yeah, again, unfortunately, Key not being here tonight certainly doesn't help. Hopefully they can find a way to pull out a win. But again, the resurgence they've had over the last few weeks has been something to watch. It's been cool to see. And I tell you what, they're only going to get better if they can get Key back healthy. And again, as you see the numbers, they were 22nd in RPI after all this happened. They were 45 before that. So again, you can certainly see the nation is certainly taking notice.
Yeah, you see the games coming up. You get the feeling even with NC State coming back in here on February 24th. North Carolina, particularly with Paris Key out there, they can win all those games.
They certainly can. Clemson would probably be the toughest of them all because Clemson plays such a ridiculously fast pace, helter-skelter, pressing the whole game, so that could be a tough one. But again, Carolina's put themselves in good position down the stretch of the regular season.
Now, you mentioned Clemson. They're both at 5-4. You see Louisville, NC State, Notre Dame all at 8-1. Both those losses for State and Notre Dame coming at the hands of the Tar Heels. It's halftime in Chapel Hill. Duke leads the Tar Heels 40-31 on ACC Network Extra. Little halftime entertainment here at Carmichael, showing some Carolina colors with Duke leading their rivals here in Chapel Hill by a score of 40-31. Along with Chris Hooks, I'm Dean Linke, and with no Paris Key, you knew Stephanie Watts was going to have to deliver the goods.
And she has for the most part, but she kind of disappeared in that second quarter. Again, she sits in this ball game with 8 points, 3 for 12 though from the field. Again, that second quarter, that matchup zone really caused some problems for them, so they've got to find a way to get her going again.
Mila Goodchild, the freshman, she's now got 53s, but she can score all kinds of ways.
Yeah, she can. You'll see here, they got the layup there, and then she kind of works her way into the lane here with the spin and the 5-foot jumper. Again, you'll see her hit the three-pointer that gave her 50 on the year to tie Abby Wayner for the most as a freshman. And in fact, the young lady that's number 1 on that list is down on the other side of the court doing radio for Duke. So, again, the stats certainly in favor of Duke, as you can see here in this first half.
Yeah, you look at the rebounds for Duke. They came in as one of the poorer teams in the ACC in rebounds, but a 9-rebound advantage.
Yeah, and again, you look at the points off turnovers. Carolina has 11 of those. And even Coach McCauley talked about in the pregame that she felt like that they would have a chance to win the ball game if they could somehow hold Carolina accountable from three-point range and keep them within check, and they've done a decent job of it thus far.
The biggest number, Duke outscoring North Carolina 18-2 over the final 7 minutes and 15 seconds. Going to send it to break and come back. It's Duke 40, North Carolina 31 in Chapel Hill. Oh, Roy Williams, the fine head coach of the UNC men's basketball team, here showing support for the UNC women's basketball team. Duke leading North Carolina 40-31, though, as we get set to start the second half here. And take a look at some scores around the ACC, Chris.
Yeah, you look at Louisville continuing to show its dominance in the league. Again, up by 21. Notre Dame trailing at the half against Miami. NC State had a big first quarter, but Florida State battled back to take a lead into the locker room, and Clemson obviously leading Wake Forest at the half there. But again, NC State in a huge battle down in Tallahassee. So that one, again, another game to look out for here tonight.
Chris, we came on the air first talking about Paris Key not being here, but then talking about who was here for Duke. Haley Gurecki, the redshirt junior, triple-double versus Pitt. Solid numbers here through the first half against North Carolina.
Yeah, she's well on her way to that. And again, all the praise that Coach McCauley put on her is due. I mean, it was deserved and everything. She's the real deal, and she's one of those players that's going to be special as she continues to play here.
Let's take a look at Coach McCauley's upcoming schedule for the Duke Blue Devils, Chris.
Yeah, again, they kind of like Carolina, the heavy part of their schedule is kind of through for the most part. They do have to go on the road to Notre Dame, but those are, again, 5 out of those 5 games. They can win 4 of those very easily.
They finish against Clemson on February 28th. You can check those games out on ACC Network Extra. Duke wearing the white today. Coach McCauley couldn't remember wearing white ever over here in Chapel Hill, as it's a blackout for North Carolina. As you see Janelle Bailey, who leads the Tar Heels with 10 points, and she is back out there. Second half getting set, and we're underway here in the second. Again, Duke in their white, North Carolina in their black. No Paris Key, so Jones gets the start in the second half again to go with Watts, Coonan, Bailey, and Bennett. It's Gurecki, Goodchild, Odom, Akinbody, James, and Williams out there for Duke. Coonan with the rebound. Bennett 1 for 2, drops it to Coonan. Coonan, good pass extra over to Bailey. She's fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
That's what they're going to have to do to get back in this one. They're going to have to take it right to Duke, get Bailey more involved. Again, Williams has done a pretty good job, throughout most of this ball game, keeping Bailey in check on the defensive side. But again, you got to give credit to Coonan there. Nice job of getting in the lane, getting to the nail of the lane, and then getting it to Bailey to get the foul.
Bailey 3 for 3. She shoots a pretty impressive 74% from the line. Not bad for a player that primarily plays the 4 or 5 for the Tar Heels. And of course, the jinx on Bailey, she'll miss the second. 40-32. That runner is short, and North Carolina will get it back.
And Odom thought she was fouled there, but I agree with the no call there, because in that situation, she initiated the contact.
Bennett, some pressure there from Goodchild. That Duke zone, phenomenal the final 7 minutes. They'll call Watts for the travel, and that's 6 turnovers now for North Carolina.
That zone certainly has caused problems in there. That situation, she just didn't come set. When she got the pass, she started making her move without having been set for a brief second, and that's why they called the travel.
Carolina has made a free throw, but they've gone quite some time without a field goal. 2:18 remaining in the second. None here to start the third, and they trail by 8. They'll get it back again, though.
Yeah, again, nice job there by Jocelyn Jones, being very tough on the rebound, staying your ground. And the Duke player came in. I think it was Williams who was charged with the foul there.
So North Carolina, they had an 8-point lead with 9:37 remaining in the second. Duke had a 9-point lead with 30 seconds remaining in the second. That's the kind of swing Duke put on North Carolina in that second quarter.
It's this matchup zone that they've put on. Again, Carolina has not given them a reason to get out of it. That may help.
Coonan with a 3. She's got 6, and the lead cut to 5. Gorecki looking for Williams. Gorecki shown that left hand or right hand. This time the right hand off the glass and in.
Coonan bit the fake there. Nice job by Gorecki to get the bucket.
So Gorecki with Odom, both with 10.
That's where Carolina's going to be dangerous. If they can get the ball moving at that pace, they're going to be able to really work their way through, because then Duke could not even get that matchup zone set.
42-37. Rebound Bailey. Bailey, who with that last bucket leads all players with 13. Bennett waiting for Bailey to run the court. Out to Coonan. Down to Jones. Watts, pump fake. Turnover, Watts. Duke going the other way. It's Gorecki wide open for a layup. So off the turnover, the lead 7 again.
Turnover bug has hit Carolina here. 1 point early in that second quarter, they had 1 turnover.
Coonan step back. Rebound Jones, and Jones now with 4, 2 for 4 from the field.
And that's a big bucket. Again, Duke kind of took the blow here, got the turnover, got the layup, and then Jones did a nice job of following up his shot. Now it's Carolina's turn to get the stop in the defensive end. We'll see who Carolina, or rather who Duke dials up here. You see Odom, a good child.
Good child. Extra pass to Williams. Now Odom. Shot clock down to 3, and Odom got fouled with a second remaining to go on the shot clock in the first half, and hits one with 2 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Bennett fouled from behind by Goodchild.
Something happened with Goodchild. Looks like she might have gotten scraped in the eye or something. I don't know if she wears contacts. If one fell out or. There's nothing worse. Hopefully her contact didn't get folded up or anything in her eyelid. It was kind of graphic, but that's an annoying thing, and I think she's coming out to get that taken care of.
Goodchild's going to go out with Roma. As Bennett at the line. Came in shooting 77%. She hits both of them, and she's got 4 points.
And I think she just got hit because she wasn't seeking media attention. Carolina's been able to dwindle it down to 5. Let's see if we can get something here as far as a stop.
Coonan with the steal. She can do it all, folks, for the Tar Heels. So valuable. Watts, little fake, trying to feed Bailey. Jones picks it up, and Jones just flat out threw it away, as that now is 8 turnovers. As you said, at one point it was 9 turnovers to 1. Now it's 10 turnovers to 8. Duke over North Carolina.
That play right there, Jocelyn Jones just needs to slow down. Oh, she got a hand in the face. That's what happened to Goodchild a minute ago. That was totally on an accident. But again, Jones it's almost like she panicked with the ball in the corner. Let it breathe.
5-point lead, now 7. Good shot from Gorecki. She leads all players with 16. The lead 7 again. Largest lead for Duke has been 9.
Again, when Carolina made their battle back, I guess you could say, Duke has answered, hitting their last 3 shots.
Watts behind the 3-point line is short, as Watts now 3 for 13 from the field. Jones off the side of the backboard, and Duke in transition. 2-on-1 at the moment, and that's a charge. Bennett has taken a couple charges, and a big-time defensive play from number 0. Gorecki has been outstanding for the Duke Blue Devils, a triple-double machine. She's got 16 to lead all players, and Duke up by 7. North Carolina 14-9, 5-4 in the ACC. Red hot, the team of the week. They've won 4 in a row behind their big 3, but they trail by 7 because one of the big 3, Paris Key, not even in the building. She's homesick. So Watts and Bailey got to step up. Watts, tough shooting night, 3 of 13.
Yeah, and you combine her and Bailey, they're shooting 33%. And, you know, somebody out of those two has to figure out a way to kind of get back on track, or somebody like a Taylor Coonan got to step it up as Coach Hatchell looks on. You know, she's going to try to figure out some way to do it, but give this team credit. They've hung in there without Paris Key. There's been moments where Paris Key would be perfect to kind of settle them down. This is where Shayla Bennett can certainly take charge.
Tar Heels shooting 38%, Duke shooting 56%. Coonan with her left hand, little leaner, doesn't go. Bailey kept alive. Bennett runs it down. Shot clock resets.
Coonan may be the secret to the success here. She's a 44% three-point shooter in conference play.
Watts rushing a little bit. Bailey gets the rebound, cannot finish, but she will go to the line.
Now with Watts, it's kind of the Reggie Miller mentality. If you're off, shoot to your own. If you're on, shoot to your off. And she's going to get one eventually, but a good job there by Bailey battling for that rebound. That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to, if that shot's not going to fall, they're going to have to get second shots.
First one in for Bailey. As Reggie Miller would say, shooters got to shoot. So expect Watts to keep firing. She's now 3 of 14, though, from the floor. Bailey now with her 15th point to lead the Tar Heels. The Duke lead cut again to 5. Duke with an 18-2 run in the final 7 minutes of the first half. They've held the lead. Ackenbody James will give it to Goodchild. Goodchild sitting on 9. Gurecki sitting on 16. She'll step back for a 3. In and out. Rebound, though, as Bennett cannot hold off Ackenbody James.
Again, that was just good positioning by Duke.
Talk about positioning. Bailey, soft right hand, and she's got 17. Goodchild lets him travel. Wasn't sure if they're going to call travel, or you saw Goodchild extend with the arm. Before she could extend with the arm, Chris, she slid her foot.
Yeah, this is a situation for now Carolina. You got a stop of some sort, whether it was a unforced turnover or a steal, whatever. You're down 5, 3:27 to go. You don't have to get a 3. You don't have to really do anything spectacular. Just run your offense. This will help.
Church, too strong. Adams with the rebound, her 3rd. Remember, Duke, 2 point guards out with knee injuries, another point guard off the team because of academics. They've done it by committee. Gurecki around Bailey. Bailey with those 2 fouls, and Gurecki with 18 points to go with her 6 rebounds. She's got a block and a steal as well.
Yeah, they switched on that screen, and Bailey cannot let her beat her to the baseline like that.
What a pass from Watts. Coonan, it slips out of her hand. She's bailed out, though, on the foul. Haley Gurecki has been outstanding for Duke.
Again, watch. They switched on the screen. And Bailey cannot let her beat her to the baseline like that. Good job by Gurecki, though, going down there, not being afraid of who was on her.
Coonan in and out. Coonan 6 points. Roma's going to come back in for Coach McCauley and the Duke Blue Devils.
Coach McCauley talked about Gurecki, based upon the amount of time she's been able to play, is pretty much a sophomore. And she missed all of 16-17 with a hip injury. She's had 2 surgeries on her hips. And I feel like she's in the best condition she's ever been in, and my gosh, she is feeling it now.
21 points for Gurecki, left open. Behind the 3-point line, and she'll hit it. Coonan with the floater. Cuts the lead back to 7 as Duke tying their biggest lead of the game a moment ago at 9.
And if you're Carolina, you got to keep it close. This is, you keep it at the 5 to 7 range. Again, tough foul there by Bailey, but you're playing without your best player. If you can just keep it close and make it where you can make some plays down the stretch, that's how you want to kind of go right now. But right now, Duke is just doing everything they want to do on the offensive side. And Carolina just kind of just trying to get through it.
Biggest lead of the game, 10. Could be 12 after that rebound, could be 13 if she can hit the and one. Williams there, and all of a sudden, North Carolina not moving fast enough, not reacting. Duke beating them on the boards.
I think that foul's going to be on Taylor Coonan. Let me make sure real quick. I think that is on Taylor Coonan. That's good. Unless they did call it. Yeah, they called it on Coonan, but they're going to take, for a second, the stats had Bailey with 4 fouls, and that's not the case. Coonan was the one charged out with. So Carolina called a break there.
Look at this, another rebound off the free throw. Williams missed the free throw, but Jade Williams now has scored 10-plus points in 3 straight games as Goodchild behind the line.
Yeah, Carolina's gone really small here. Coonan is your 5.
Bennett out there with Church, Watts, Jones. Bennett, good drive, good hop, and in.
I love watching Bennett drive through the lane. She's so quick and agile. Nice job there by her. And Carolina's got to strap it on and play some defense here. They got to get some stops.
Goodchild. Over to Odom. Gorecki. Turnover. There's Jones defensively. The smaller lineup working on the D. Coonan, Church, quick pass to Watts. Watts trying to use the handle against Gorecki. Over to Coonan, she steps up. He's got to make that one right there, Chris Hooks.
Again, Carolina's still getting after it, though. Good job there. Jocelyn Jones nearly got the steal there.
(58-50). Shot clock at 10. Williams down to Odom. Williams too strong. Jones gets her hand on it. Look at Duke. Second chance opportunities. Game clock here in the third at 25. Shot clock at 15. Pass down to Williams. Jade Williams resets. Coonan with the block. Odom with the cleanup. They've gone small, North Carolina, and they've not been able to handle it around the rim.
Well, even then, Coonan got the block, but nobody else was there to help her out. Leah Church fell asleep at the wheel, and player for Duke was able to get that block shot.
Coach McCauley. When we met with her, I don't think she had any idea. I know we didn't that Paris Key wasn't going to go, but certainly Duke has taken advantage of North Carolina being without their leading scorer in Paris Key.
Yeah, and that's been very evident. Carolina's looked lost at times as far as trying to get that quick bucket. That's something Paris Key could do for you. Tough break for East Carolina at this point. Watts hasn't really been as clutch as she was early. But a good job there on the defensive end to get the turnover here. Maybe they can get a bucket in the quarter on a high note. Trying to hide Leah Church in the corner. See if they can get her open for a 3 to end the quarter.
3 seconds here. Bennett, little fake. Bennett with a leaner, and she'll miss it. The lead is 8. As Haley Gorecki, she's the only ACC player to boast an average of 20 points against ranked teams. She's pretty good against North Carolina too, as they lead by 8. No Paris Key for North Carolina, and yes, it has been a problem. Through 3, it's Duke 60, North Carolina 52. Haley Gorecki's averaged 22 points, 11.3 rebounds, and 6 assists in her last 3 games. Her numbers similar tonight.
Very similar. 8 of 14 from the field, 21 points. She's 2 of 5 from the outside, doing it inside, doing it outside. 20 again, like I said, 21 points. She's been the key factor for them here tonight, leading all scorers for the Blue Devils. And I think, again, like I said before, what Coach P. McCauley said about her, she's 4th in the ACC in scoring, and everyone above her is seniors, juniors. This young lady's got a long ways to go as far as her career. She's plenty of time left to continue. She may be one of the great Duke players of all time when it's all said and done. And how cool would it be for her, considering what she's had to go through with her body. As we talked before about her having 2 hip surgeries and missing significant amount of time.
Final quarter underway here in Chapel Hill. North Carolina riding that 4-game win streak, including the shocker over #1 Notre Dame and handing NC State their first loss. But without Paris Key, Bailey's got 17, Watts just 8. And the rebound here for Gorecki. As Gorecki now just 2 rebounds away from yet another double-double, as she's been able to put up 8 triple-doubles in her career. Here's Gorecki again for 3. 24 for Gorecki.
Well, on the other side for Carolina, if you're Coach McCauley right now, that last possession, we'll take that. A 30-foot three-pointer from Shayla Bennett. You'll take that every day of the week.
Largest lead of the game for Duke at 11. Coonan misses the layup.
Again, Gorecki. Coonan should have known better as far as not allowing her to have any space. Gorecki did a nice job of kind of coming off that screen.
Jones, nice cleanup. Jones with 6. Now it's a matter of trying to handle Gorecki, who's got 20-plus points in both her games against the Tar Heels in her career. Big moments, bright lights, no problem for Haley Gorecki.
So that's you got to come away with that.
They don't, and Odom gets the bucket.
There were 3 Carolina players around there, and none of them came away with it.
11-point lead again. Bennett, floater, no. Bailey fouled, and she'll go to the line.
That's how you can get back in it. Get Bailey going in the lane and get her to the foul line. Again, over 70% free throw shooter. And you got some foul trouble creeping in for Duke at this point too.
Janelle Bailey, 17 points, 6 for 13. She goes to the line, 5 for 6. As we told you, 75% free throw shooter.
Now Williams, who's coming out of the ball game, just got her 4th, and she's been a real aggressive, good size competition there for Bailey. She's got 4 fouls, and she'll take a seat.
Bailey now with 19 points. Too easy here for Duke the other way. Watts is there, but Watts will be whistled for the foul, her 3rd. Great drive from Odom.
Yeah, Odom fell very hard there, and she's having a little trouble. She might have fallen on her hip. She comes up a little weak, but looks like she may be okay. But again, you look at her, you look at Goodchild, you look at Gorecki. That's just 3 of their young team. They're all getting them back. You talk about the recruiting class they have coming in. Coach McCauley feels like those young ladies will all have major impact on the program.
Rebound Watts. 65-56. Duke by 9. North Carolina without Paris Key needs to go on a run here. Jones behind the three-point line. Bailey with the rebound. Perhaps Bailey had a push. She did. It should be whistled for the foul.
And that's her 4th. I didn't really see what happened. Yeah, she extended her arm. Got to be more subtle than that. They'll let that go, but once you extend that arm, they've got to call it. You put them in that position to call that one.
Gorecki. She'll get it back. Great pass down low. Gorecki creates her own space. She's short there. Bailey had it for a second. Looks like a tie-up.
Good job there by both Watts and Coonan on that possession. They cut off Gorecki on the baseline and forced a tough shot. Again, they gave her the baseline. Coonan cut her off and forced a tough shot. This tough break, they couldn't get it back. Leah Church gets set to check in for the Tar Heels. They need somebody to spark them on the offensive end.
Church going to come in for Jones.
They're 5 for 21 for three-point range. Sorry about that, Dean.
Long, rebound Bailey. Tar Heels down 10, 7.5 minutes remaining in the game. Coonan. Coonan, offensive foul on Coonan, out of control.
Yeah, she just, you can see she kind of got lost. And then nice job there by Suggs for Duke. Saw that coming a mile away, got in front of it. When she lowered that shoulder, and you could tell she couldn't see where she was going. Again, that's 2 possessions in a row Carolina's gotten stops, but they've got to get buckets here. Who's going to step it up? That's the question. Paris Key usually had the ball in her hand at this point.
No Key, so it's Bennon, Coonan, Watts, Church, and Bailey on the court for Sylvia Hatchell and the Tar Heels. Down 10, under 7 minutes remaining in the game. Bailey fouled again.
This is where she's got to make it count. Decided to dial her up. A nice move there.
That last charge taken Coonan against Suggs. Suggs now a team-high 9th charge taken on season and 13th of her career for Suggs. Great work as always from Lindy Brown, the veteran sports information director for the Duke Blue Devils. Thank Lindy. Bobby Hunley, Mark Kimmel for UNC.
Yeah, we're blessed here in the Triangle with 3 schools around here that do such a great job. Who knew they kept track of charges? I love that. I'm glad they did. And this is a very timely timeout here by Duke, because again, they hold on to a 7-point lead as we go down the stretch.
All right, we're going to take a break here. Coach McCauley wants to talk it over. Duke on top of Tar Heels by 7 here in Chapel Hill. Good night for the Duke Blue Devils here in Chapel Hill. They lead at 65-58 over the Tar Heels. 6:43 remaining here in the fourth, and Duke getting it done surprisingly on the glass.
Yeah, and I think that's a prime example. Carolina going 5 for 21 from the outside. They're last in the ACC in that category as far as Duke's rebounding, but tonight, with Carolina not shooting so well, they did a good job of boxing out and getting those rebounds. And even on the other end, there were situations where Carolina could get out of situations. As Janelle Bailey, and 21 points for her, but 6 for 13 from the field. She's had a very tough night to get to that. She's had to work hard for that 21, including 9 free throws here tonight.
Indeed, Duke trying to get the lead back up to 9, and they'll do it. 67-58. Another bucket there for Akinbody James.
Yeah, she just blew right past Stephanie Watts.
24 for Gurecki, 17 for Odom. A whistle against Akinbody James.
That's 4 on her. I didn't even see what happened.
So both Duke post players now with 4 fouls, and still a lot of time left here. Over 6 minutes remaining.
And they are not letting Stephanie Watts get the ball. They ran her off the three-point line there, and then Shayla Bennett tried to force it into Church, and they turned it over.
It's 10 turnovers for North Carolina to go with the 15 turnovers from Duke. Duke, though, shooting 55% from the field. North Carolina, 34.5%. A charge against Suggs. And there's the little scrappy Church earning another charge.
Yes, the spark plug, as Coach Hatchell refers to her. I mean, Suggs had that basketball cradled like she was carrying it through the offensive line. Good job there. Now, Carolina's got to get a bucket.
Down to Bailey, short. Bailey just not able to elevate much at all tonight. Odom. Good child, and this time a block called against Church.
Yeah, good child had a step on her there. You're not going to get that call. I mean, watch here. She had the angle.
Great job by our crew under the direction of Evan Badler. Joe Ferrara, Dylan Field, Ebony Bryant, part of our great crew. With backdoor from Goodchild up and in.
And Goodchild, very smart play there. Shayla Bennett was playing, very strong on the wing, so they just went backdoor on her. Carolina's got a big hole to dig out of here in the last 5.
Stephanie Watts, 3 of 14 from the field. Bennett tries to get into Bailey. Bailey stays with it, turns, a turnover. 11 turnovers now for the Tar Heels. They're down by 11. Under 5 minutes remaining in this one, Chris.
Yeah, Gurecki just handled that all by herself. Unbelievable. Tough break for her, didn't fall, because she certainly worked for that bucket.
Duke doing everything right. Fundamental basketball, even a good old-fashioned backdoor cut. Duke leading by 11 over UNC. Duke on top of North Carolina 69-58, and Haley Gorecki in 2 games against the Tar Heels has scored 53 points. Is that good?
Yeah, I would say so. I've just been so impressed with her, and she's been doing it all. That last possession, despite her missing the shot, really proved to me how good she was. She took it the length of the floor, did miss the layup, but you're seeing right there, she's putting the numbers up. 9 of 17 from the field, 50% from three-point range, 3 for 5 from the foul line, almost a double-double here.
Off of the timeout, Duke with possession and that 11-point lead.
I think Carolina's got to find one more burst of energy here to get back in it.
No energy there, though. Underneath, so many baskets at the rim and quite a few misses even for Duke, or perhaps the lead would be bigger.
Yeah. And Carolina's just not been able to find that offense. And there you go.
Watts with the 3. She is now in double digits, but 4 of 15 from the floor. Gorecki, Goodchild, Odom, Suggs, and Akinbody James. Bennett, Coonan, Watts, Church, and Bailey for the Tar Heels. This time the backdoor was handled by Church, little runner. Rebound Watts. Watts just made a 3. They could use another one. If you're a Tar Heel fan, Watts for 3, in and out. Under 3:30 remaining. That one goes in, and it's a different feel. Now Duke will plan to use most of the shot clock. It's at 10 here now. Gorecki leans in to Bennett, and she'll go to the line, sitting at 24 points. As Sylvia Hatchell, no Paris Key, not really the answer here against Duke.
No, and again, like I said before, there's so many instances where she would be able to settle things down and get a bucket. And Duke's taking advantage of it. I was going to say before, I think the last three-pointer that Watts hit came with 1:13 to go in the first quarter before that last one. So Carolina, again, still some time left, but it's getting to the point where they've got to do something on every possession here. And if you're Coach Hatchell right now, you're trying to draw up something to get some quick buckets.
Chris, let's take a look at the ACC standings as North Carolina came in red hot, winners of 4 in a row. Perhaps thinking with Paris Key they go to 6-4. As you take a look at it, they're starting to talk about seedings for the ACC tournament, and of course, big picture for the big dance.
Yeah, and again, it looks like Clemson's going to win tonight against Wake Forest, so they're going to move to 6-4. Carolina, again, they're a game ahead already if they lose tonight to BC and everyone else below them, so they're going to be just fine.
So Gorecki will go to the line, just 1 rebound away from her 4th straight double-double. She gets the point, and the lead is 12.
Florida State beating NC State right now by 2. Notre Dame trailing Miami in the 4th quarter as that one comes down the back stretch.
Gorecki sliding her feet against Coonan. Coonan will get it back. Coonan up and in. Coonan now with 11. She's in double digits with Watts. They both have 11. Bailey has 21, but it's been the Gorecki show with 26. Goodchild, she's got 11, now make it 14.
I was about to say, that wasn't a great shot. They could have ran the clock a little further, but what do I know? Goodchild, one of the top three-point shooters on this team in the ACC as well. Big three-pointer for her.
Coonan. Her leaner's not there. Well, give Coach McCauley and Duke credit. That zone defense, and also with no Paris Key, they switched over to Watts, and they've been able to shut down Watts, who I thought was the best player on the court in Raleigh on Sunday.
Yeah, she was, but in this situation, they've run her off the three-point line, and they made an emphasis on that, and she's really had to work hard.
Church working hard. She gets the steal, drops it to Bailey. Good pass over to Jones. Jones will have it knocked out of bounds by Williams.
And Church wanted to pull the trigger from the outside there.
So Sylvia Hatchell wants to talk it over. You mentioned those scores around the ACC, some tight contests. Miami leading and NC State trailing by 2.
Yeah, that NC State, I think for them, Miami obviously, that'd be a big win for them down in Coral Gables to beat the 4th-ranked team in the country. I think Notre Dame's still kind of trying to recover, missing Jackie Young. NC State, they're depleted. They've had a lot of injuries, and the one thing that they've been able to do is their defense has been really good, and they haven't faced the gauntlet that is the rest of their schedule, the Florida States, the Notre Dames, and the Louisvilles, and that's coming. But Westmore's done a tremendous job there. I think Coach McCauley, you can certainly say she's done one of her better coaching jobs this year with what she's had to deal with, and her young ladies continuing to come out and play extremely hard, and they have shown tonight they're going to be a tough outcome tournament time in a couple of weeks.
Certainly looking like they're going to get an ACC road win. It's been tough for them on the road, but the block there, and they'll call the foul, and that'll bring Church to the line to shoot 3.
Now, if you're Coach McCauley with Goodchild, you say, look, you don't want to give them a situation where you can, again, Leah Church, very scrappy player. She's going to try anything she can to get a foul, a charge. You know she's going to do that with a three-pointer. You can't even just come close to her.
As Church shooting her second. I want to thank our crew, Evan Badler, Ebony Bryant, Joe Ferrara, Dylan Field, Ian Lang, Blake Morgan, Adam Jordan, Brian Ware, Colin Thrash, Michael Brango, Cam Newworth, Tim Arms, and Chris Hooks up here with me. I'm Dean Linke, delighted to be with you for ACC Women's Basketball. We were as surprised as you were with the late word that Paris Key was not in the building. We do want to send our best to Paris Key and definitely wish her a speedy recovery, right? Get her healthy.
Yeah, we certainly do. And you can see Coach Hatchell subbing out Church for defense, but baseball pass to Odom. Beat that press, no problem.
Bennett with the foul. The lead is 10, 141 remaining in the game.
With the fouls here, if they keep fouling Gorecki, she may tie or break her career high here. She's got 26. She's got 27.
Gorecki's career high came last year in that overtime thriller as North Carolina finally breaking the streak that Duke has been on against the Tar Heels. Gorecki will roll it around and sitting at 28, one away from that career high. Watts deep 3. It's been that kind of night for Watts, 4 of 17 from the field.
Yeah, you can see her very frustrated.
You talk about the broadcaster jinx. The E-Dog Evan Badler will tell you I could not say enough good things about her. The way she played against NC State, even Georgia Tech, the defensive effort, the rebounds, the handle, getting to the hoop. I was so excited to see her play. Talked to her at 2:30, and with no Paris Key, there's just not been a whole lot of openings for number 5.
No, but again, they put bigger bodies out on the wings on her. You saw Williams in that last possession was out there on the wing, making sure she couldn't get a shot off. I mean, she had to shoot it from about 5 feet back.
You know, now that I think about it, as I was walking into Carmichael, I saw Sylvia Hatchell outside, and I said, man, Coach, it's unbelievable how you're playing. And she said, you know what? It's all about injuries, though. We got to stay healthy. We got to stay healthy. It didn't resonate with my coconut there. Like, she might have been trying to tell me something, because with no Paris Key, they're just not deep enough.
No. You would have needed Stephanie Watts to go about 5 for 12 or 6 for 12 from three-point range. And Bailey, I mean, she had a pretty efficient game. Bailey with 21, she's 6 of 14 from the field. And for Carolina's sake, I hope this doesn't squelch any momentum that they had coming into this one. Paris Key gets better, and they'll end the season on a strong note. But for Duke, even she said it. Coach McCauley said it, and we were talking to her earlier. She said, we're right in the thick of all of our games. Look at the numbers. Look at the scores.
Duke's going to draw even at 11-11 on the season, get their third ACC win. Coonan short.
Again, a crisp pass from Bennett would have been able to allow Coonan to shoot that three-pointer.
Keep an eye out for a rebound here for number 2, Gorecki. Just one away from 4 in a row in the double-double line.
Looks like Akinbade James just fouled out. The Duke faithful that made the trip over gave her a little round of applause. Well deserved. It's a big win for Duke.
Duke, Gorecki 28, Odom 19, Williams 11. Gorecki also with those 9 rebounds. Gorecki in position. If Coonan misses, the bounce was there. Church gets the rebound. Back over to Watts. She'll feed Bennett. Bennett trying to draw the foul, and there's Gorecki. And Duke, an easy layup with Church closing in. No Paris Key. North Carolina came out with a lot of energy. Had a lead as big as 8 in the second quarter, but Duke went on an unbelievable run, 18-2 in the final 7 minutes and 15 seconds, and it's been all Duke here, 85-67 right now.
It has, and Carolina just simply could not solve that zone. They couldn't put the ball in the basket. It's a make-or-miss game. Duke made more, shot better, took care of the basketball better in the second half, and Carolina's going to concede the defeat.
Bailey's going to shoot it up and in, but Duke's going to get the win as they inbounds. The Duke Blue Devils go to 3-7 in conference play, 11-11 overall. North Carolina will fall to 5-5, 14-10 overall.
Yeah, again, give Duke credit. Coach McCauley and her team continues the battle despite all the adversity they faced with injuries and such. Big win for her. Gorecki, just a tremendous player. Good game from her.
All right, I want to thank our producer, Evan Badler, our director, Joe Ferrar, and the entire gang. For Chris Hooks, I'm Dean Linke saying so long from Carmichael here in Chapel Hill, where the final score is Duke 85, North Carolina 69. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. Thanks, everybody, for watching. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Duke 85, North Carolina 69.